be right underneath your tier 2s,
So
and then just always rage TP.
As sexy as the Timber pick is, as good as I think it is, it still doesn't do with the lifestealer, and so I think you still have to go with Aster
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be one of these games where like the Timber looks okay, but then like Kunkka gets 6 and the Lino and the Grim maybe rotate in, and he just dies. Like they just pop
and
all
it's the same problem we talked about in the last game with Lina, that Timber can be just dominating the game and he dies once, and all of a sudden it's just the balloon pops.
Yeah. Okay, so it's all pure the time.
One thing that I really like about Timber this game, though, is that the rest of his team is literally all stuns.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the issue, is that sometimes you can't get an effective burst combo on one guy because he's bouncing back and forth. You hesitate on your cooldowns, and then it means your overall DPS is lower. But with all these other stuns, he can just kind of like frontline really hard with Centaur, deal tons of damage, and be a threat.
And again, the problem still is in this game, because of your lack of a vehicle, Lifestealer has to use Rage to get into the fight, to get on top of somebody. It's not like you're in the fight, you pop out and on top of somebody, get that burst damage, and then you can Rage. You have to Rage to get yourself in this game, and that's a big deal because when that Rage ends, you got plenty of stuns and a lot of burst if this Timber gets a good start.
Aster are dodging the aggro try. They're walking across the map. Lifestealer's heading bottom now. They don't want Lifestealer to be pressured right out of the gate. I imagine Tide can do okay here, but it is still 3 stuns. So, like...
But that's the other thing. It's the other thing I dislike about the early kill values right now in Dota. Like, you can be a Tide, and you can feed a couple of deaths in this lane, and as long as you're getting some XP, it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, your enemy carries or supports will be getting more, obviously, but yeah, your overall gold gain is not that big of a deal. As long as you get the levels. It'll matter eventually, though.
Yep.
Baboka takes some auto attacks in the trees. They are going to be looking for PYW here, but he does have the hoof stomp. He's already level 2, buys himself a little bit of space. Stun coming in from Raji as well.
Careful those retaliate stacks.
They just gave him full stacks. Okay. Well, we've seen the so the other Wraith King that we saw against the Tidehunter in the previous game didn't go so great. He tried to go for a few more points in the stun instead of the skeletons, just because what are the skeletons going to do against Tide?
Yeah.
XCJ not manning down. Actually, we'll get the stun over onto Baboka. Mid lane, I mean, slightly Timber favored so far. Needed to get those early points up in the reactive so he can really be a big bully. Yeah. A lot of the time I see Timber get an Orb of Venom in this matchup. Not going for it this game.
Yeah, I tried that in one of my games recently. It felt kind of nice. I ran out of item slots pretty quick, but it definitely gives you the ability to pressure a bit more. Because basically you've already won the lane just by having reactive armor. You're always going to regen more.
Right.
So this way you can actually chase down and right-click pressure them as well.
I feel like you do get a little bit more value out of that, though, in like side lanes when you can use it to chase down supports.
It's true.
It's a little bit less value in 1v1s, I think.
Cool.
Oh, hello.
He's dead. All right. He just kind of, I guess, manned up against the. It's the gush.
Yeah.
It's always the gush.
Yeah.
And Baboka also has Fiery Soul, so he was getting extra attack speed plus gush minus armor. So pretty easy to kill.
Starting off well for those of you that want to see more Chinese Dota. Aster here playing to force a tiebreaker.
Timbersaw went for Bracer, queuing up Soul Ring next. It's 1-1-2 right now, so just laning pretty well against Kunkka.
Oh, Camera taking a little bit of damage, but Q does kind of disengage this. There is a decent amount of damage coming from the Centaur. There is another Split Earth coming soon. Raji is even going to use it. Won't need to.
Yeah.
PYW just runs him down.
At that point, just let the Centaur get it.
Alright, success. Does get stunned, but not too much damage. Kunkka is just kind of pushing at mid lane a little bit and then clearing some neutrals in between. Knows that he's not going to win the lane, so he may as well just maximize his farm.
Well, he's not going to win the lane, but he's kept within shouting distance here. You know, this is a completely different story from what we saw against Lina in the last game. And he's going to be able to keep up and farm by exploiting neutral camps, as we just saw.
I do wonder if he's maybe like you go for an X heal soon. He's got the salve. The damage is going to start adding up as ZYD just spams away. Baboka, well, they've already used the stun from the Wraith King. This Cold Feet might end up proccing, but Aventador taking a lot of damage. Flashbacks to the previous game.
Yeah. Wraith King's armor is just so weak.
Yeah.
The laning stage against Gush, it's such a good counter.
Yeah, he's got the chainmail, but still
true.
might not be enough. Kunkka getting run at mid. ZYD punching him down. This is what you have to be afraid
They're
of.
trying to tie it again.
Yeah. Oh, XXS.
Oh, wow. I thought they would have gone for that.
How close
Low,
is-
but not dead.
How close is Timber to 6? Because that's when it really
Yeah,
gets
that's when that lane
super
gets scary.
ugly.
You're on like half HP and you get stuck in the middle of a chakra. And you're like, oh, I'm just dead. See ya. Kunkka backing up. 5-minute bounce rune's coming up soon. Serenity, nice lane positioning. Shove it all the way up, and then both of them can kind of come over here. Raji just in the better position. Doesn't have the Edict for a second, but Baboka, ooh, is he going to get the second one? Looks like he might.
Oh, the miss!
Uphill.
He would have lived. But
He
still,
would have, yeah, he would have survived, but
I mean, he got 2 bounties out of that. That was pretty good for Baboka.
does he just run for the tier 3 now, or even the tier 2? I mean, he could just TP.
Ooh, the shrine.
He's out. Nice play.
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, yeah, Timber's got his 6 now. XCJ coming over towards mid, pop down some wards.
It's rushing Locket.
Okay. A little bit of extra survivability. What do you guys think about this?
I mean, I remember hearing about it. I didn't get to catch the games when Timbersaw was played with like Bloodstone that one land. But it's a hero that it actually kind of makes sense on. Like the problem with Locket for the majority, it's an item that increases healing, right? And most heroes that heal are anti-heroes.
Yep.
Talk about it later.
He just wants to go. He just wants to clear the wave, but he gets spotted where his X was coming from. Chain stun coming through. ZYD just waiting for cooldowns to finish the job. The rum is helping him a little bit, but down he goes. They didn't quite manage to kill the catapult either, and the Edict is still here. And they really don't want to lose. They don't want to lose this tier 1 tower so early, but I don't know if they have any choice in the matter.
So, remind me again, what are the stats on Locket?
I will.
Nobody builds it.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
so where I was getting it gives 200
okay, it
health,
does give. All right.
325 mana. So for most int heroes, the stats are like kind of crappy.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want that much mana as an int hero when I'm more worried about other stuff. It gives magic resistance, but this is kind of perfect for Timbersaw, really, in terms of its base stats. And then it also makes reactive armor 25% better, which means he's basically just unkillable for the early game.
Well, I would worry about it. The 200 health is really nice because the problem is that in this game there is a lot of burst damage on the side of Aster. There's a lot of wombo combo. I worry that if you don't get to another health item even after that, that you're not going to have a big enough health pool to take advantage of that regen amplification.
Is it better than a hood?
In this game, that's my problem. In this game, I don't think so. I think in EHP terms, in these fights, you're gonna come out ahead hood.
Wants this kill on Kama, but I think he's bitten off a little bit too much. And he's dead. Stomp. Gets a bit more damage, but Q does bring him down.
I would say probably. It's obviously a lot more expensive by 1,000 gold, but regen-wise, if he's healing for 40 right now, it's essentially like a 14 HP regen item.
I mean, you've already got 1340 HP, right? And if you get Ravage Laguna boated, I think you're
maybe it's also because Centaur's going to buy pipe. So
that's okay.
So he doesn't want a hood as well as having the pipe on the Centaur, and he's
Thank
probably not going to finish the full pipe himself. So
thank you. I was way overanalyzing.
There's probably some other I don't know. There's always like another piece of the puzzle somewhere, right? You just got to click around the map and have a look.
Fair enough.
Serenity. So they're just continuing to run this stuff down. With I think they can't actually.
I thought early Greaves would have been super good too. That's the.
I do really think that they can like timing end this game.
Yeah.
Though. For
oh
sure.
yeah.
With the skeletons and the Edict, they're gonna have plenty of tower damage, and Timbersaw is just gonna lead the way with his super tanky body.
What's the Lifestealer building?
He's got Midas.
Okay, so that's the other problem is Lifestealer. The way that Lifestealer has been played in Pro Dota in the recent past is very, very slow. This is not a Lifestealer or an arm of a Lifestealer anymore.
All right, PYW is dead. 4-man gank. They wanted to stop this top tier 2 push, but just the one.
A lot of heroes
kill.
over there do it.
Yeah, and like Lifestealer, as much as we were saying that he can always rage TP this game, He can't. I don't know if he can sit there behind the tower and just farm while the Timber is pushing down the lane. So.
And I like that Timber is doing this, like, because this is what Timber does best, is that he's unkillable in the laning stage. So he goes to the mid lane, he gets killed, and then he shifts bottom and now does the same thing. So another lane that was previously a bit safe for the enemy is just going to be his body sitting here. It's almost got the lock-it finished.
The one thing that I will say is scary is that they're up 3 towers, but only 1k gold.
Yes.
True.
So,
But
alright,
they're
buff coming in. Torrent actually, yeah, there's no bug, just the Torrent. Never mind. Well, he gets punched down.
That's
That
so much
retaliate
damage.
damage. But Boca, a long way up here, is going to get the stun over onto Raji, but he's slowed down a little bit. You don't quite land the stun. PYW might be able to get his, also misses.
That's hard.
2 points in the, 2 stacks of Fiery Soul gets him out of there. He needed to land that stun.
Yeah, it
Otherwise-
was hard. He lost his phase boots, so it was a good try. But yeah, both Centaur and Timber essentially doing the same thing here, standing in lanes, preventing enemies from being able to get close, and now they're going to be able to take towers potentially. Fighting for this bounty run though.
Lifestealer raging, rage TP, stun Raji with the timing.
Very nice.
He was hovering that buff for sure.
That's a huge kill.
Oh, that was so
now down
good.
the lane.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How many? All right, Wraith King's over on the other side of the map. He's just.
So Wraith King has his Midas.
Yeah. I think they're just like playing for the level 15 on the Wraith King, and that's your kind of timing to end the game. Get a full stack of skeletons, march down the lane.
I guess. I mean, they just got that one lifestealer kill, and now they're just death pushing on the tier 2 down here.
I don't think they can go high ground. I think they can.
No, but I think it
doesn't make any sense to pull Wraith King off this top lane and bring him bottom. He should just continue.
Well, no, the
farming.
team, if they can take the tier 2 down there, the team just goes up to meet him.
For sure. And they still need to respect the team fight from Aster. Kunkka plus Tide, even with not a whole lot of
So
farm.
I actually don't know that you do until the Grimstroke ult is up. When the Grimstroke ult is up, I think that's when the Aster team fight becomes pretty scary. But he's only halfway through level 5.
He just got a stone. He's 6 now.
All right.
They're about ready. Kunkka rushing Spirit Vessel this game. He's got the urn right now. Needs it against the Timber Saw is the way to remove it, but Timber queuing up a Arcane Boots, which most likely
they're waiting for him at the other end. All right. Oh, nice silence from
That's
Q.
really
ZYD still looking for a little bit more. Ice Blast does connect.
Huge save with the silence.
Very nice. Always just nice to have that 1 point of value at the very least, right? I feel like this.
Yeah.
Agreed.
People have been. I don't know if they were sleeping on Phantom's Embrace necessarily.
I do, definitely. Some games I genuinely don't skill it for a while, but yeah, that looked a real value. If I was in that moment, I would have felt like a dumbass. Like many of the moments. But
Well, you would have just been like, oh, there was no way to save it.
Dota does
nothing,
that.
absolutely nothing I could have done.
Nothing I could have done.
Not my fault. Why'd you go there, dumbass?
All right, Lifestealer. Okay, Midas Armlet. But still no Midas just yet. Kama's still having a pretty slow game.
Yeah, that's why the death hurts so much. Because it's that much more time that the Wraith King has his Midas that you don't have yours.
I do think he, unfortunately, does have to go back for Stroke of Fate now. They need the 2 supports to have the wave clear.
Yeah.
To hold the high ground.
Inkswell's so good, but yeah, they got to be able to slow this down, at least get farmed from a safe distance, and not have him be jumped on by stuns.
I think there is no way Aster takes a fight without a good Soulbind in this game.
Yeah.
If you look at the lead that Serenity are out to, it's not. You just don't have the damage without a good Grimstroke ult combo.
Yeah, they're holding down the fort at the bottom side while Wraith King just keeps on farming. He's going for an arm. I love this. Armlet Deso. They know
Yeah,
exactly what
baby.
their timing is. ZYD getting gone on, but I don't know. This isn't looking like a whole lot of damage. They're walking forward. But the Lifesteal is also showing it mid, so it's a 4v4 in the worst case for either team.
It's really the same item builds for both of the 2 carries, the Wraith King and the Lifestealer. There's just lots of single, like high HP tanky heroes.
Alright.
That's really smart that he rotated off the lane, honestly, because this is like the downside of Timber is that sometimes you like stay in these lanes too long, and then all of a sudden the whole team finally comes and they kill you, and you say, haha, the whole 5, but in all chat. But then it actually really impacts the game because they get some good gold, they get like a level on each hero.
And they get the lane all the way out as well.
But this way, at least he starts working on the other lane. Now he's shifting top instead of his team being defensive. So while they do get a push out of this, they're going to be able to push at the tier 2.
Now, talking about the similarity in carry item builds, the other problem that I see for Aster in this game is that Serenity has the sustained damage to wait out the rage and continue to stay in the fight and continue to threaten. I think Aster, they're going to have to blow a lot to get through this Wraith King's first life. And the question is, with some of these big cooldowns on their side, what's left after that?
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Man, Raji being able to come down here and solo defend, it's pretty crazy. There aren't actually very many TPs to come and help him, so he's actually just relying on the threat. He's bluffing completely by being down here. Let's see if Aster call it.
He shows his
no
hero.
glyph.
He runs behind the tower.
Yeah, and maybe he like split earths here and just cuts through and runs.
Okay, Timber going Yules to cover some of his disable problems. It's very smart.
Yeah, don't get comboed by
X or
Kunkka
anything
as
really.
well.
Yeah.
And again, going
Another
with the theme
purge.
of early item builds and Serenity knowing their time in this game.
He also went the mana regen talent. Pretty fresh talent.
Yeah, what was there before?
Was
remember?
the spell amp there, the 6% or something like that? Or was
Maybe.
was that always at the 10, the 15?
I'm not 100% sure. Timber is not a hero that I play very much, and not a hero that gets played all that much, right? So, Lifestealer, he's swapped back. Kama is like trying to get a read on this game. Ooh, Baboka, long way up here, breaks the smoke.
Oh, yeah, they didn't realize.
He's
for a
not really
second.
the target that they want, but it will take him.
Boboka trying to get BOTs this game. Very interesting.
Oh,
I mean, movement
just for
speed's
split push.
it's kind of good against like AA Cold Feet, hypothetically, and running away from like Stampede, but past that, I'm not
Wow.
really sure.
Pretty even odds. Serenity.
Yeah,
to fate.
they've
Wow.
really.
Yes. Some people
Really
are going to
bad
lose a
back.
lot of money if they did that first bet.
All right, what do we got?
Oh,
Race
that's
Demons to
by the
Armlet.
way,
that was,
that-
that
they're
was
coming.
sick.
Let's talk about the vessel on Kunkka, because this is the other reason.
Yeah, what does it
that
matter if you have 0 charges, Alan?
This is the other reason, though, that you question the Locket build, because you know that vessel is coming.
That's
and
true.
Yeah, you can use it off.
Jump in.
Locket counters the
They
vessel,
found
though.
Maboka.
What?
Yes, because you get extra heal in the first place.
So when they reduce that
Okay.
heal,
It is
all right, this is
greater
wait,
than
this
it used
is
to be.
this is like the high ground hold
Yes, it
that
is.
they need. They don't have the Yules just yet on the Timber, but they got to kill somebody to get some vessel charges. Otherwise, what can they do? ZYD's just up in their face and
Chicken egg situation.
Yep. Oh, ZYD doing a little bit of damage. All right, he's getting the
good
Yules out of his backpack. Can he get it
Perfect
off
timing.
in time? He just
Oh,
keeps himself
yeah.
out. He's healing a little bit, but the Torrent follows it up. Tidehunter on the front lines. He gets stunned. Stampede also used. ZYD wants to go back in here. He is an absolute madman.
Oh, that would have been such a bait.
Ice Blast on the Kunkka. Tide still chasing them outside of the base. We got Wraith King on low HP on the side. And everybody on Serenity just cleanly disengages.
And they did that without using Ravage, so they still have the threat to play on the Aster side of the map. Or sorry, to play on the Serenity side of the map.
They did half the damage to the tower, so they got something out of it for sure.
yeah,
It was
they got some
pretty
chip.
patient. And Wraith King, was Wraith King even there, or was he just AFK?
He was
Oh,
there. He went and hit it a little bit. That's how he took a bunch of damage.
Dude, he looks strong right now. He's like, what,
Yup.
1,800 away from finishing his Deso?
Yep. If he gets, do you think they Roche before they high ground?
I mean, they probably should. His DPS is going to be massive
Oh,
right
dude,
now.
Aegis on Timber in this game?
Yeah. I guess
He's
Timber,
working
huh?
on it, dude.
Get out.
ZYD wants it.
He's like, team, come.
30 minutes
Assemble.
later.
Dire scan. All right, what's the vision situation like? Radiant, they see a lot on this high ground. They see the mid. They don't see over on this side, but they can just kind of scout. They know that somebody was just bottom. Tidehunter
Oh, they
flashed
have
on the
perfect
lane.
vision of this setup.
But Aster, they're smoked, but they don't see a whole lot. Tide's coming in. He's going to be the one to face check the pit. Roshan status down low, not dead just yet. They are going to get the stun onto the Tide. Torrent only going to
Oh,
catch
wow.
one. They need this
Oh, this
Roshan to
Ravage is
die.
gonna
The
be so
boat's
good.
coming in. Raji getting caught. Can they burst the Timber Saw? He's low. Is he dead? He's being silenced. He uses up PYW.
Lifestealer.
Not the one to get the Aegis. The Dire get the last hit, and they get the Aegis of the Immortal onto Kama. Follow-up stun onto the Centaur. Now they finally got some vessel charges. They bring him low, and Team Serenity, they may have just messed up.
Their
Yes.
momentum just takes a huge hit. You know, the bright spot there is that Timber does survive. But yeah, that first Aegis now in the hands of the enemy carry.
Rough, man.
Well,
Who's also not that far away. He's like actually equal net
Yeah,
worth of the...
Right.
to the Wraith King now.
Oh,
Item-wise, only 700 behind. So
Should they have just waited for the Deso?
probably.
Yeah.
Or something.
I think
Yeah.
obviously, hindsight's always 20/20.
Captain hindsight. But
I feel like the what they needed to do is they just needed to keep everybody in the Roche pit except for like Centaur or something and Timber maybe, because the main damage dealer is probably Wraith King there. Even if like Timber leaves his Chakram on Roche for pure damage, like they needed to finish Roche and they were kind of close, but they needed somebody just to run out there and go die. But maybe they're too greedy to want everything.
even if they just had a oh wait, did they have the medallion already on the Leshrac?
Yes.
I clicked on them. Okay, so they did.
Or at least the item pop-up came up before the fight.
Yeah. Okay.
So it showed Lesh
Yep,
getting
yep.
medallion.
Okay. Well,
And does he finish Crust here, or is he going for Mech?
Oh,
he's going
no.
for Greaves.
Greaves, okay.
Any small item at this point.
Yeah.
Their timing window is becoming kind of limited. They jump in. They do find the Grimstroke. First Q, not going to be able to get any spells off. They use the Stampede. Can they catch more? That's the question. ZYD whiffs on the Timber Chain there.
What a
Can't
stun.
get in a little bit further. Baboka has the Aether, but he's getting run down by PYW. Blinks in front of him. Gets the stun. Oh, they do have the Lifesteal already running down to try and cut this wave. They can
Oh, that's
translate to mid, though.
I was gonna say, I was like, is that a Rax? That's 2 dead heroes. Ravage is on cooldown still for a bit.
The
Yeah,
supports
nice read.
respawn pretty quickly, though.
Very true.
And yeah, this is what we were talking about. What does Lifestealer have to fear?
Well,
All right. He doesn't want to rage TP yet.
Being cut in half.
oh no! Oh no! He's dead.
That's Aegis. He's good.
Look at
Yeah,
all
but
these trees.
I guess there's nothing to deal with BKB, so he just rage TP's out.
Yeah, he's chilling. But that does still kind of stink to lose the Aegis like that. He immediately TP's top, though. Doesn't even TP back to base. Looks to make a play right out of the gate. Raji going to try and do some damage, but he is looking quite dead. Never going to get that kill.
Wow.
And now Lifestealer has his armlet up.
So
Dessa.
Yeah, sorry, Deso up. I saw. Thank you, guys.
That's all right.
Yeah,
no problem.
We got you.
cheers.
Bloodstone next on Timbersaw.
Okay. Still a little ways off, though.
And he went the reactive armor stacks time. Interesting. I mean, I guess if you have a Holy Locket, it's probably kind of bonkers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But the other one's 10% spell amp, dude. That looks so good,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
It does look good. So that's another 8 stacks at 1.3. I'm thinking more about the
I
armor
don't-
than I'm thinking about the HP regen. Like that's
The armor
that's
is-
Oh, that's a
another
good point.
that's
is
another
very
10 that's
good.
another 10.4 armor if
But-
he's,
Yeah,
but
that's
only
really
if he has the max stacks. He has to have all of them, right? It's not easy to be all the way up at your maximum stacks.
Yeah, 32 is kind of insane how many that is.
Like he's gonna have to go and tank neutrals for a little bit before they try and go up. Or
Yeah, that can be really
just
hard sometimes.
drag the whole creep wave around with you.
But if he does, then him getting hit by Lifesteal is like a night and day situation. Like I don't see him dying to Lifestealer.
Yeah.
with that
He's
much
not
armor.
going to die to Lifestealer, but there's going to be a lot of magical burst on Aster, especially, God forbid somebody builds Veil as this game goes on.
Serenity still only need to win like one good fight to
Yes.
take. I guess one fight is one lane of Rax, but then it's one lane of Rax plus shrines
Yeah.
and map control.
The tier 3s are super relevant here because
Yeah.
there's going to be at least one more rush.
Oh, Aster are heading out. They're smoked, but XCJ might break this. Who's going to be the first one jumped on? PYW they're looking for. They do get the X-Mixer spot over under the Ancient Apparition. He's just going to throw out his spells before he dies, realizing exactly the situation that he's in. Serenity are somewhat split, getting run down the middle by XXS. Raji thinking about jumping in now. Can they actually burst this Tide Hunter? It's tough. They've got the Vessel over on the Timbersaw. He's going to use himself up. The 2-man stun. 2-man Laguna
the
Blade. They're both
Grimstroke.
just gone. The Soulbind is way too good. Aventador's back up and alive, but Timbersaw just getting nuked down. So much damage.
And
Double
this is
kill
the
for
problem.
Baboka. They even catch the Torrent onto Raji. Is this game just over now?
You can build all the regen on Earth, and it's not going to help you against this kind of magical burst.
This is just like a classic Timbersaw game, right?
Yeah.
Enemy-
Yep.
enemy-
You die once, and it's wah, wah, wah.
Enemy team walks away from you for 20 minutes, and then they finally come and fight you, and you die.
Yep, you
And,
dumpster the lanes, they have to leave and do a bunch of weird stuff, and then eventually they just kill you. It was kind of silly for them to fight over there, I guess. because they got pretty grouped. But
Yeah, after A goes down, you kind of want to bail. Again, though, Captain Hindsight.
Yeah. But what are they bailing for? In theory, they've got their item timing now. This is like it. Blink Pipe, Armlet Deso.
but without
And-
Ice Blast, it's a little
Yeah.
bit scary to try to kill one guy.
Yeah.
Even like having Ice Vortex would be nice because they could potentially like chain nuke one guy down really easily. But there's so much AoE on Aster when those two heroes got clumped together like that. It's like Ravage.
Yeah.
Everything Grimstroke does is AoE. Lina got 2 ultis, and then Kunko probably threw stuff too.
Yeah, 2 level 2 ultis as well.
Yeah.
Well, got the Solar Crest now up as well on the Tide, so that single target damage coming from the Lifestealer is just going to be obscene. And I don't even like Timber probably didn't have too many stacks in that fight. I didn't actually see. Maybe he was stacking up beforehand, but
Probably didn't have that many.
still died pretty quickly.
Again, and I mean, the next item, too, he's going...
Shoot
I
us.
know you don't want to build HP against a Lifestealer, but
It's not that weird.
I mean, he's itemizing this game as if the main damage source against him is going to be the Nanks, and that's true in the late game, but...
I think Shiva's also helps a lot though, just because it lowers movement speed when you
Mhm.
use it, and then it's gonna help you land your other combos better. I think that aspect
true.
of it shouldn't be underestimated.
And the vision.
Yeah, vision too. Stop blink daggers.
Oh,
etc.
Wraith King's TPing in. So too is Centaur. They're trying for the stun. They don't find it. Kama taking some auto attack damage. He has already used the rage. If they can get in here, they could potentially take a fight, but could not find any kind of a catch. Aster just get the tier 2 tower and they get out. And just keep on farming. Tide's actually going for a BKB, interestingly enough. I guess just against the Timber, the Ice Blast. Guarantee that the Ravage always comes out at the time that he wants to instead of just before he dies.
Yeah, that's true. They just have so much burst damage. It's a lot safer that way. And he doesn't have blink, so he can't necessarily be in position and also guarantee a good Ravage without being threatened of dying.
So is there another timing for Serenity later on in this game? Like, does the Timber become scary again later with talents
No.
or with more
I
items?
don't think
He
so in
doesn't
this
really
game.
get stronger until the rest of the game. It's like he's like unkillable in the laning stage, and he does damage, but like as the game goes farther and farther, he just does less and less damage as a percentage of their health, unless he gets Ags or something.
Yeah.
And this is every time that I play Timber, the same thing happens. I have a great early game, I maybe get some kills, and then I just kind of hit creeps for a really long time, and eventually I just lose.
Yep.
And I just feel like the hero has trouble. You can't close games easily. You can't scale super well in the late game. It's a weird hero.
Yeah, he's a hero that he's very momentum based and he needs a lot of help to high ground.
They want Raji. I think they are going to get him. Timber even walking into the Torrent here. He's only got 6 stacks up. Needs to be careful. They're pinging the high ground as if there might be a ward, but they just had the straight up vision.
Luckily, Timber was able to get away before the X came off cooldown again. That helped for sure. Oh no, the Skelly's killed all his stack sources now. It's still scary to fight though.
He's already in the front lines. Feeling like he's tanky. Bringing him back into the stun from Baboka. Already half HP. Laguna Blade coming through.
Well, that's
Can they get the Yules
just
off?
dead.
Nope, he's done. And now they're just walking forward for more. Catch the Torrent on the other side. PYW couldn't find any kind of initiation. Cam is feeling this game. He's on the chat wheel, and Baboka is on a killing spree.
The Spirit Vessel counters so many of their heroes
Yeah.
actually.
Well, the Spirit Vessel and the Lifestealer, they just do so much damage.
Huh.
These heroes are supposed to be tanky, but Solar, Gush, big right-click damage. What do you do?
Like, this is, like, if you compare Lifestealer and Wraith King this game, they're built, like, literally the same items, but the difference is massive. Even though Lifestealer couldn't jump in somebody, he just has a free BKB.
Yep.
And a free slow. So, like, not that Wraith King doesn't have disable, but, like, he can actually just fight constantly, and Wraith King has limitations.
I'm stunned that it's 2019 and we're seeing so many Lifestealer games and so many BKB carry games where there's nothing on the literally nothing that pierces spell immunity on the other side. Like, I thought we learned this 2-3 years ago.
I think the plan was to win before they had to worry about him, but just didn't quite happen. The two big magical damage supports for Aster, I think, have done a lot of work.
Oh, big
This
time.
game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking all along. That the minute that soulbind comes up, the damage potential increases so much. It potentially limits the mobility that Timber saw in fights. No yawning. That's
No.
not allowed.
Who's yawning? No one's yawning.
Nobody's yawning.
It does feel like at this point Aster have just won this game, though. Like I don't know what Serenity do. They got to make like one big play.
You need a pick.
Yeah, they're looking for Baboka. This would be pretty nice if they could get it. PYW jumps forward but doesn't immediately land the stun. Raji has got the lockdown though. Dead for 50 and okay
And then instantly they say they're going to go for Roshan.
Yeah.
Launch
You've
Ice
got to.
Blast.
You got to force that objective. I mean, I think honestly the best shot for Serenity is to hope that Aster catch a case of Save Your Friend syndrome.
PYW, maybe he can get the initiation once again. Kama is no, no, stay away from the Lifestealer. Don't do it. Don't fight him.
I'm just racking my brain trying to figure out what Timbersaw does to become a good hero. I just don't know what it. I don't know what item solves his issues.
I will say that it is not Holy Locket.
Oh, did they get rid of Timber's big dumb damage talent? Where'd it go? I guess they.
Yeah.
So Mono Regen came in, Spell Amp went up, and damage
I
left.
think so. Correct.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah. I guess the damage was always a bit memey. It was always like, oh, now I've got my damage, I can hit the buildings. Like, it never really materialized.
Yep. Yeah, that was definitely what's good for it. I feel like the reactive armor stacks hasn't been great. Maybe there's something you could do like Hood, Soul Ring, Arcane, and then get like an Ags or something. Like that way you just at least have like double Chakram damage for a bunch of damage. But and then try to fight with the allies that have a lot of stuns maybe. Because it's like he has damage, but like you spend so much time being like, I need more mana regen, I need more survivability, and all of a sudden it's like your damage just isn't good anymore.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like because people start getting enough raw HP.
It's one of a number of heroes that was hurt by Bloodstone becoming complete garbage.
His survivability is just so, like, it's not guaranteed. There's so many fights where you don't actually have that many stacks.
Yeah.
Like, the laning phase, sure, you always have max stacks, and it's a broken ability for laning, but maybe this talent needs to be, like, guaranteed half your stacks or something. Like the minimum is
double
half.
stack buildup or something.
Duration, up the duration.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, up the duration as well.
By like
could be
10
something.
seconds or something.
No, but that's the thing. You were saying this earlier that as Timber in these games, you feel unkillable until you're not.
Yeah, until you aren't anymore.
But then when you're not, you feel super fragile.
Yeah. Oh, well, they've gone in. This is a lot of minus armor in this Roshan. It's dying way quicker than that Serenity attempt earlier. They are smoked up. PYW, what can he actually find? They get the vision inside of the pit, starting to chip away with a little bit of damage. Aventador in on the front lines, but it's just so much minus armor. The survivability for the Wraith King doesn't feel like it's there. He is surviving for a little bit. ZYD jumping forward. They do get the infest into XSS. They just want to walk their way out of this one. But ZYD, the damage is starting to add up. He's only got 4
you need
stacks.
At least 2.
Yep, Ice Blast lands. Aventador trying to armlet toggle. Not going to happen. Can they actually kill Baboka? Now the boat buff is coming in. This is life number 2 for the Wraith King. They have to try and keep him alive. They did lose both supports, but they buy back immediately. And Wraith King doesn't have that luxury. Ravage going to land onto 2. Follow it up with a perfect Ink Swell. That is a double kill for Cheon. And they've got another X over on the Centaur. Lifestealer still very tanky. And that is a 5 for nothing. Well, 5 for 2. 2 buybacks, but
I smell tiebreakers.
yeah. Aster, you think the crowd groan is appropriate in this situation?
No, man, I want to see some more Dota.
I'm down for a little bit more Dota. We've only had 6 games. We had 8 games yesterday. And quick tier 3.
Poor Timbersaw, man. He has 2 Dispel items, and shit still sucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so rough.
Is Timber in that same boat as Huskar, where you're like, oh yeah, this is like, oh yeah, awesome 22 or 10th pick, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be our game-winning hero, and then like,
But the difference, okay, but let's talk about the difference between Timber and the real 22 pick cheese like a Brood or
Brood
a
or
Meepo.
Meepo, yeah. They
And
actually take buildings.
Yeah, that's the difference. The difference is that when Brood or Meepo start to crush a lane or start to crush a fight or get a pick off, that they get map control, they get objectives afterward. And Timber just sort of chains around.
Oh, lordy. Lifestealer has Nullifier.
Yeah, that is.
Well, so long, Timber. They are ice blasting in. They're making their final
Maybe 4-hero
desperation
ice
play. What can
blast.
they get? Stomp, but the
That's
BKB and the
ridiculous.
Rage already coming out. Nobody getting stunned. Baboka will end up dying. PYW already low. 3-man Torrent. Follow up with the boat. Trouble for the Timbersaw. He's silenced. He's nullified. He's everything. He's gone. Kama still fighting, still life-stealing. Raji about to be brought down. GG called. The Aegis will stay intact on the lifestealer. And with that, Aster have done it. They have kept their TI9 hopes alive, and they will force us to a 3-way tie. Aster, CDEC,